The ridiculous lore of the goblins.
Warcraft can be a pretty serious universe. There are tons of
I would say so.
dramatic, epic battles and harrowing stories of pain and climactic, earth-shattering events which have immense effects on the world. And then you have the goblins.
Because they're stupid. Yeah.
The history of the goblins...
The history of the goblins, that's Bobby Kotick. And behind him is Blizzard. And in the cup are the employees and the players' tiers. And that's the way it goes. That's life. There it is.
Is the absolute antithesis
the music.
to some of the more
I didn't even notice
serious
that. Yeah.
subjects in Warcraft.
It's the fucking
The lore I'll be
music.
talking about today is all canon and is some of my favorite stories ever told on Azeroth, and most of it has to deal with the goblins and their immense love of gold. But goblins weren't always at the top of the economic food chain.
No, they weren't.
Like most races on Azeroth, they started out with very humble beginnings and dealt with a foe you might be familiar with.
Ragnaros. Deathwing. Labor ain't free. That depends on where you live. What the fuck is this?
Thousands of years ago, the
trolls.
goblins were enslaved on the island of Kazan by their Zandalari masters.
Smart.
Now, when the trolls first arrived to the island, they discovered an incredible ore called Kadjamite. This valuable resource is something they would use for their shamanistic rituals, so they paid the goblins with shiny trinkets and other random...
I think that the Kadjamite, if I remember right, the Kadjamite literally made the goblins smarter. And so the goblins used to be really smart, and now the actual lore of the game is the goblins slowly get dumber and dumber because they have less of the crystals around.
Things to put them to work. As the goblins worked, they realized that there was an incredibly immense amount of the ore under the island.
There sure was.
So they decided that maybe enslaving the goblins would be a much more practical idea.
Yeah, it would just make
For
more
thousands
sense.
of years, the goblins were forced to suffer in the Kadjamite mines, harvesting the precious green ore for their troll rulers.
Good.
But little did the Zandalari know, Kadjamite was no regular ore. The dust the goblins inhaled from the ore had the incredible ability to expand their intelligence.
It's cocaine!
From deep within the mines, the goblins
It's
crafted ingenious gadgets and gizmos to
What the
overthrow their
fuck?
troll rulers.
I am science! I am genius!
I swear to God, this is so stupid. Oh my God.
I'll take him out.
Jesus. Can you guys ever notice in every single troll storyline, the trolls take the L? Like every single time that the trolls are like they're in control or of something, somehow they end up taking the L indirectly. Trolls are actually the dumbest. They are the dumbest race on Azeroth. Like they got taken over by the Night Elves. Now they're getting outplayed by a little green piece of shit. That's high on crack rocks. They are stupid, man. Yeah, this is the starting quest. Damn.
Prepare a mecha chicken.
Oh my God. I thought this was so funny when they added this into the game.
Have I got a bomb for you?
Look at that. I feel like the way that goblins look and talk, they just belong in a trailer park. Just like the way that they talk, it's like just straight up like they belong in a fucking trailer park, man.
The battle was a decisive victory, and now the intelligently emboldened goblins created a bustling city on the island of Kazan.
Wow.
They built their metropolis above ground, but there was also an underground city called the Undermine, but we have never seen that one in game. Once the Zandalari
I'm waiting
were
to see
either
if they're gonna ever
killed,
add that.
fled, or enslaved, the goblins
That'd be
started
really
to turn
cool.
on each other. Most of them split into various groups called cartels. Many rose and fell, but the prominent ones that have stood the test of time are the Venture Company, the Steam Weedle, and the Bilgewater.
Yeah,
These
I guess
coalitions
so. I never
feuded
thought
with
of
each
it like
other
that.
during battles called the Trade Wars.
Yeah.
But these wars were not the traditional wars you'd expect. It was messy and violent skirmishes
Oh,
that
look at
erupted
that.
all throughout the city.
Uh-oh, it's a bomb.
Generous.
Say hello to my little friend. I am the little friend.
I like how a lot of these, this is probably the most realistic part of the story. You know, like if you were to translate any part of the Warcraft story to real life, that's pretty much it. I'd say that pretty much sums it up right there on screen.
Say hello.
Oh, what the fuck?
We know that there was
I didn't
at
notice
least
what that
4
was.
total trade wars, and the final war was called the Peace War, which was actually the most violent one. Although there were many wars, all of them had the same result.
That sounds really just like real life too, you know? Name it something, name it the exact opposite of what it is, and that way you can't criticize it for being what it is, because it's literally called the opposite of what it is. Makes sense. A Patriot Act.
No
of
goblin
course.
actually won. It was all just needless violence in the pursuit for power. Eventually, the cartels made a truce and decided to battle it out in the economic arena instead.
Oh.
Also, the Cadgemite deposits
Okay.
under Kazan did not last forever, and as the supply ran out, so did their intelligence, leading their inventions to be rather unreliable, which became a staple in goblin engineering.
They literally got dumber because they ran out of crack rocks. I love it.
The cartel we know most about in Warcraft lore is the Bilgewater. The former
Yeah.
trade prince was called Prince Maldy, but
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that's his fucking name. There's no way. Fuck. Ah, shit. Okay. All right. All right, great. Awesome.
this prince had gotten a bit soft over the years and started to let his guard down.
Yeah.
A recipe for bankruptcy in Goblin society.
True.
Like a financial shark with razor-sharp teeth, an up-and-coming businessman named Jaster Gallywix exploited this weakness. Gallywix played the long game and bought out all of Maldy's staff and replaced them with his own mercenaries. He bought out his manor, he bought the store Maldy rented his jewelry from,
Jesus.
and he also destroyed his fleet of trade ships.
Wow.
You gotta be kidding me!
But wait, Maldy did have a daughter called Nessa, which Gallywix had fallen madly in love with.
It's beautiful!
Then asked her to marry him when they first met. She refused.
You think you're better than me?
That's the first, just as soon as they met, man. I like that. Like, he don't wait a minute. As soon as they met, he's like, all right, will you marry me? That's it. She refused. Yeah, well, listen, I mean, the guy, is a little out of shape.
You think you're better than me?
So he subsequently exiled both of them from Kazan and
Yo, shout out to my boy Gallywix. He ain't on that simp shit. He ain't gonna sit around chasing that girl for the next 10 years of the storyline. He sent that bitch to the moon. He said, fuck that. My man.
arranged for Maldy's accidental death.
Oh my god.
This one wants to be the big boss. Sorry, Bob. The position's been filled. By me!
Now, Gallywix isn't a monster. He still
Great.
keeps in contact with Nessa by sending her paintings every year of him enjoying his...
Oh, shit. Ah, shit. Well, no, if he's making fun of her, that's all right. Yeah, that's okay.
lavish riches he rightfully stole from her father. And all of this lore comes from Gallywix's self-help book, Trade Secrets of a Trade Prince.
Wow.
And really, the book is just 15 pages of actual content and 300 pages of old newspapers, but sorry.
Okay.
No refunds.
That's one of the
Hail
secrets.
The greatest trade prince on Azeroth. Me.
For 20 years, Trade Prince Gallywix dominated the business landscape of Bilgewater Port.
Wow.
Gallywix ordered his workers to dig as deep as they could into the earth to rip out as much of the remaining CatDany as possible so they could make his new profitable drink, Caja-Cola.
Drink
yeah.
Caja-Cola.
While digging, they were the first people to ever
that.
discover Azerite on Azeroth. Azerite being the literal crystallized blood of Azeroth that is immensely powerful.
Yeah, that's always been a little bit weird to me.
Gallywix isn't a geologist, so he just thought it was just a shiny rock, and he fashioned it into an orb on his cane, and didn't bother telling anybody about it until the events of Battle for Azeroth.
Oh,
Thank you for your
shit.
hard work.
I didn't know
and
that.
dedication. Unpaid overtime
Wow.
is approved for all.
That's crazy.
But Gallywix wasn't the only one making money moves. One of his former proteges has been taking steps in stealing his position.
Oh.
And that goblin is the player character. You see, how the player character is able to do this
Yeah,
is
this
they're
is
able
the
to disrupt
storyline.
Gallywix's bottom line by cornering the market on aluminum manufacturing. What this does
artificially
is it
inflate
degrades
the price in front of
Gallywix's
the
supply
quota
and
and
demand.
ultimately
By
undervalues
setting up
Gallywix
loss
trades,
trades, they're able to
the
player
market
character
bond
really
market.
makes
I understand
balance
this.
their equity and their diligence.
Blew that shit up. That's what it comes down to, man. This shit got blown up.
Make peace with your end, for the hour of twilight falls.
Suddenly, boom, a World of Warcraft
Fucking
expansion
Deathwing.
just came out, and
Fucking
Mount
Deathwing.
Kajaro just erupted. Also, there's a bunch of pirates here that Gallywix hired to kill the player character. The Goblins of Gazan took this a variety of ways. Many panicked, some just kept partying, but the smart ones took advantage of this travesty.
Who's ready to make some money?
My favorite example of this is Vinny Slapchop. He is an entrepreneur who
That's
is
good to
trying to
know.
make a profit by selling rocks from the volcanic explosion. The same explosion that is going to
That's literally what I did in 2nd grade. I literally went to Home Depot and my mom got a bag of lava rocks, and I went to my school and I sold the lava rocks because I told everybody that they could float. And people thought it was really cool that you could have a rock that could float. I'm a fucking goblin, man. I'm actually a fucking goblin. I was like I don't even know if I was 7. I could have been like 5 or 6. It was real. I was really young. I had to ask my mom. I don't remember at all. Prince Maldy, yeah.
leave the island of Gazan in ruin.
I see great profit possibility on the horizon. All of Bilgewater Port's assets are about to flow to me.
But Vinny is small fish compared to what
Look at the picture, dude. Look at the fucking picture, dude. Yep. No, I mean the one on the right. Come on, guys, you fucking weirdos. What do you mean? No, not the one on the left.
Gallywix is brewed up. Conveniently, there's only one ship in Bilgewater Port, and it's Gallywix's yacht.
How convenient.
He charged citizens a ludicrous amount of gold for a spot on the boat.
Smart.
So only the rich goblins were able to escape from
Smart.
certain doom.
Yeah.
And in a panic, most of these goblins didn't read the fine print of the deal, which stated that the survivors on the boat are now contractually obligated to be his slaves.
Ready?
This. As I said, man, this is so good. It's so good how realistic this is, because this is the exact shit that happened to Andrew from All Gas No Brakes in real life. Oh my god. Remember that? Holy fuck, man, this is sad.
In my yacht, we ride with the tide, and only the most wealthy and fit will be welcome to come with us.
Yeah.
We shall sail for distant
Only
Azara.
hot chicks and rich
There
dudes.
I will forge a new trade empire. One
Yeah.
that will crush the Steamweedle cartel. And I shall carve my likeness upon that distant land's mountains.
It's Mount Rushmore.
All will pay tribute to me.
Before Gallywix and his
Dude, this makes me like Gallywix way more. I originally didn't really have much of an opinion about him. I just thought he was some weird dude. But now, dude, I like this guy. This guy's well, the reason why I like him is like, it's not like I want to be friends with him, you know what I mean? But he's a good character because he's smart and he's shameless. And if you ever have a character that's smart and shameless, that's where you get to have the really good plot lines happen. Okay? Yeah, smart and shameless at the same time. Realistic character. Yeah, he gets shit done, man. And you gotta keep that in mind. Yeah, this dude's getting work done.
enslaved crew could reach the sandy shores of Ashara, they found themselves caught in a naval battle between the Horde and the Alliance and were utterly destroyed.
Fuck him. The Lost Narrative. Which one? Yeah, which one?
So nice of you to rescue me. No hard feelings, right? We'll be on our way to our new home in Azara before you know it. Despite the bumbling interference of you-know-who.
The Bilgewater goblins found themselves on the nearby, conveniently named Lost Isles, and needed to find a way to
This
escape.
was part of the Goblin
Coincidentally,
quest
the goblins weren't the only ones stranded on this island. The Horde had established a foothold on the Lost Isles, and needed the Bilgewater goblins' help to find some sort of precious cargo the Alliance had. Player character goes, kills an Alliance, gets on a boat, and...
Yo, what's up? It's me, Thrall. You know, I love nothing more than when the Horde and the Alliance get together and are friendly. Because saving Azeroth is much more important. That being said, have you ever turned into a tornado and electrocuted hundreds of Alliance sailors before?
Okay. Oh yeah! Yo, this shit was fucking fun. This is a good time, man.
I see the trader is here to rescue you, Warchief. How convenient. You think you're such a big shot, saving everyone and making friends with these orc savages. I'm gonna crush you. I'm the Trade Prince, me! I got a plan that's gonna get me off this island.
Why'd nobody shoot his ass? Cause like, if you gotta deal with this asshole, why'd nobody just shoot him? He's too rich. Well, that's not gonna help. Cause they're dumb. Yeah, it's a golden. He's a golden vest. Yeah, maybe that's it.
And then make me the king of Azara. Mark my words. I'm gonna get you. I'll get you all. Out of my way!
Oh, great.
Hold on. I think it's going
I don't remember that part.
fast.
So this is the part where the narrative of our story starts to fall apart for
I bet it
gameplay
does.
reasons. What happens next is... you blow up a bunch of explosives that turn into a town, and then you control a giant shark with laser beams. Then you fight old god-empowered Naga, then you fight pygmy people, then you fight a bunch of zombified goblins, then you use rocket boots to fly into the mouth of a volcano. Then you kill Turtle God with an RPG, which then erupts the volcano.
Yes.
Trust me, I wish I could give you guys context to all of these events.
Dude, the event, the goblin starting thing was fucking good. It was really, really fucking good.
There is none. And our story ends in the most perplexing way possible. How it ends is the player liberates all of the enslaved goblins, and with the help of Thrall, we defeat Gallywix.
Nobody messes with me.
I like this one. I think this was really cool. I did this on stream.
Uncle, I give! You guys are too much for me. I'm beaten. You've shown me the error of my ways.
Now, the incredibly confusing part is Gallywix gives up and Thrall just lets him continue to be the leader of the Bilgewater. You know, after Gallywix hired mercenaries to kill his own people, stole all their money, and then enslaved them. Now, I get it. The lore in the Goblin starting zone is not meant to be taken seriously. It's kind of like a cartoon show.
Yeah, it is.
But when you incorporate serious characters like Thrall into the mix, it kind of just leaves the viewer to be kind of confused and not really sure what's going on.
Yeah. It is kind of weird.
Gallywix got what he wanted and turned Ajara into a bustling trade port and an industrial complex.
Yeah.
The most notable things built are a giant cannon that still hasn't been shot yet, a complex highway.
Blizzard said that they were gonna shoot that cannon. I remember,
Notable things built are a giant...
I think, like, didn't Hitler make, like, some massive fucking gun or cannon like this in, like, World War II? And it just turned out to be, like, a huge pain in the ass. And it was actually just, it turned out to just be a complete waste of time. Because I think that, the Gustav, I think that by the time they actually shoot it, I can't imagine this actually working. Like, I hope that if they do try to shoot this, it just blows up. Like, after all of this fucking, all of this hype for like 10 years, it's like, oh my god, they're finally shooting the gun, and it just like fucking blows up. Or it shoots the missile like 3 feet, and it just goes down and blows up the whole area. It'd be hilarious, man.
Cannon that still hasn't been shot yet, a complex highway, Gallywix's giant face carved into the side of a mountain, and his lovely pleasure palace, which includes a hot tub and a place to golf. But my favorite addition is they just terraformed a whole bunch of Ajara and turned it into the Horde logo for no particular reason. And it's just absolutely...
No, they wanted to show that, you know, it's like a gesture of good faith. It's like, hey, we're going to destroy the world to let you know that, you know, we care about it.
Ridiculous. But that's a good thing. Goblins are one of, if not my favorite race in WoW, because they are the epitome of one of the reasons why I enjoy Warcraft's lore so much. This universe's lore is at its best when it lets unique races and characters ham it up and do cool shit for the sake of doing cool shit. It's like a comic book. Yes, there is an underlying sense of logic that keeps things relatively grounded and cohesive. But at the end of the day, it's meant to be taken at face value. Like, why do we still use swords and shields when there's magic and advanced technology? Who cares? Accept it for what it is, because it's a fantasy.
That makes me mad, because, like, they don't have any logic for that, and because of that, the warriors always lose. That's what I fucking hate about it, is it makes the warriors always lose. It fucking sucks, man. Like, I don't know what to do about it. It's just disappointing. It's just fucking disappointing.
World to get lost in. Like, how can you take this universe's lore seriously when there's a section where a bunch of little green people snort Adderall ore, which makes them suddenly learn how to craft a machine gun? Does that make sense?
Yeah, there's a movie on it. It's Limitless. Remember? There's a movie on it. I mean, did that make sense? Kind of, but, like, not really. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Not really, but it's fun and unique. And at the end of the day, that is what really matters. And what keeps me and many others captivated by the story that has been told so far. But seriously, what is going on at the end of the starting zone? It makes no sense.
Maybe Thrall didn't know. That could have been it.
Now, I'm going to hit the sauna for some R&R. So bring me a frozen cocktail and some cocoa butter.
Oh my god, makes me want to play Goblin now? I like Goblins a lot. I think they're really fucking cool. Like, Goblins are one of the more interesting races. Like, to me, I think Goblins, like the Lightforged Draenei, like, compare Goblins to, like, Lightforged Draenei. Literally nobody cares about Lightforged Draenei. Like, they're so stupid. It's dumb. Right? And then you have, like, Void Elves that are, like, kind of cool. But Goblins are way cooler than, let's see, Dwarves are cool, Gnomes are cool, Trolls, I guess, are cool in their own way, Tauren are cool. I think Worgen are kind of dumb. I do. I think it's like, they're werewolves. Like, come on, man. It's just, I think they're kind of dumb.